people give other people money? Because they want something from them, and that's the only reason, right? So let's say somebody has a shovel, and let's draw a little shovel out here today, and let's say you've got money. Well, you want the shovel, this guy has a shovel, you've got money, this guy wants money, you give him the money, he gives you the shovel. Isn't that pretty simple? Well, here's the thing, folks, there are all sorts of things that people want that you've got. And if you don't got them, you can connect with them. And here's what I discovered. I discovered if you can set up a system to sell the shovels to all the people who want shovels, you can do something that's almost so good. I mean, it would have been the dream of fairies thousands of years ago. You can actually get people from all over the world in all sorts of different systems and all sorts of different economies from all over the place who are doing all sorts of things to get that money to give you money in exchange for something that you're not even actively involved in the process of selling. And how do you do that? You do that through a business system. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of people, they say, I need money, so let's go sell something. And they go start hitting up doors, and they start knocking on doors, and they start picking up the phone and pounding the phone, and they start writing articles, and they start making videos, and they start saying, let's sell some products, woohoo! And you know what business owners do? They create a system, and from that system they get other people to sell that product for them in exchange for money. So they give those people money, the other people sell the products, and then the system owner makes money without being involved in the process. In fact, he might hire programmers, and the programmers do the programming in exchange for money that he gives the programmers, employees. He might hire people that work on the office, the manual labor, right? He might hire, a painter to paint a painting in the building. He might hire somebody to orchestrate and hire everyone. And still, somehow, without being involved in that process, there's somebody in every business sitting at the top who's doing very little in that business and who's making a majority of the money. In fact, thousands of people are getting this system owner money from all over the world, and he may or may not be working at all. So how do you work 4 hours a day? Today, this is the only way, unfortunately. Now, I do think that that's unfortunate. I would actually prefer it that we lived in a society where everybody only had to work 4 hours a day and we could all do what we wanted all the time. Because, heck, you know what? If it's going to be between spending some time with my wife, having dinner with her, reading stories with her, talking to my family, my older brother Johnny, who likes to play guitar, traveling on beaches, going on vacations, hanging out with people, and work, I ain't going to work if I don't have to, right? I'd rather have a system in place. Now, I'm not lazy. I work, in fact, harder than most people work a lot of the time because I'm excited about life and I've got energy because I eat well. I'm in the tropics, right? But if I don't have to do anything, I'm not going to do it, right? So I'm going to create a system. It's the smartest way to generate income. You don't even have to be smart to own a system, right? That's the best way to get money. Now, here's the unfortunate things about designing systems yourself. It takes money. So you have to have a bunch of people who give you money if you want to build your own system for people to give you money in exponential numbers. The only way. Now, I'm not saying cheat people. I'm not saying steal from people. All right? What I'm saying is there's a system that provides valuable products and services to people to the sense that they want to give you money in exchange for those products or services in large numbers. And in fact, they like doing it so much they want to keep doing it every month, every week, for the rest of your life, regardless of whether you work or not. Now that is a good system, right? So that's how money's made today. Now, unless you own it, unless you're the Federal Reserve, unless you're sitting there taxing everybody, that's what you got to do. You got to do that, or you got to go into a job and you got to trade your hours for dollars, which is just stupid if you know a better way, right? I'm not saying you're stupid. Again, I've traded hours for dollars and I hated it. I'm sure you hate it if you're doing it. Most people hate it. I'm so glad I'm out of it, it's unbelievable, right? It's the stupidest thing in the world when you think about it. But the fact is that that's how our current system is built until we overthrow it. This is just the way that it has to be. So let's talk about these systems here for a second. Let's talk about some things that you can do. So you say, well, so wait. Where's this money coming from, Dave? Where's all this money coming from? It's coming from an exponentially expanding, growing group of people who are continuously giving you money every day for the rest of your life. So let's talk about how this works here. Let's talk about a traditional business system, or a traditional business as most people operate it. So we have Ma and Pa, all right, over here, and they have their little shovels, and they decide they want to sell more shovels, so they open a store, they do the books, they do the accounting, they do the phone work, they do the design, they do the marketing, and they're there from 5 in the morning till 10 p.m. at night to make $20,000 or $30,000 a year. Not a very good business because they don't have a system. Now let me tell you what the entrepreneurs that rule the world do. What they do is they come up with that same little shovel, and here's what they do. They make a little bit less money on the front end in favor of having a system that takes them out of the equation of selling that. They make a little bit less money. In fact, they work a little bit less hard because what they do is they outsource the rest of this work to more capable people than themselves. So as their business expands, they do less to incrementally make more money. Now, this way actually does make less money than the other way initially, but as this business expands and grows in size, what happens is they start developing systems and resources where they're so free from it that they can go build another business system. And so the smartest business system owners in the world build one system, they build another system, and they continuously build systems. As one fails or one becomes outdated, it's okay because they've got multiple backup systems, and they keep creating income streams for the rest of their life. This is the best place to be in the world of the entrepreneur, and you can do it in less than 4 hours a day if you learn how. So how do you get started? Well, in my opinion, the best way to get started in building business systems is the way where you don't have to build the original system. Why? Well, because if you have to build the system, you've got to have money, and chances are you don't. Why do I say that you probably don't? Because of the fact that 95% of the world doesn't have money, and they can't. So if you're among that 5%, you can start a business system, well, that's okay, right? But for the rest of us, for the people who are living in a green 1996 Dodge Caravan with paint peeling off, you've got to create a business system, and in fact, if you don't do it, you can't get started. So how do you create a business system, or how do you become a part of a preceding existing system through this industry of home-based business or the network marketing industry? So let me explain to you how the network marketing industry works. We realize today that the government is evil and oppressive, and that they do things that on their own wills and desires that have no interest in helping people whatsoever, that's based in an ever-increasing, exponentially expanding supply of debt that they have to pay off. So politicians are motivated by taking more money from people from taxes. If you ever wondered why taxes goes up when there's Republicans and Democrats, it's because there's an exponentially expanding amount of debt that can't be paid off no matter what we do. That's exactly what's happening in America today. So they realize this, and they keep increasing taxes and regulations. And guess what? Taxes and regulations don't hurt big companies. People think that they do, when in fact that they don't. They might, in the fact that they hurt big companies in their ability to grow faster, because obviously if you've got more profits, you can hire more employees, you can outsource faster, you can create systems faster than if you've got less profit. So it does hurt them in that sense, but guess who it really hurts? Poor people and the middle class. Why? You say, Dave, but they're not being taxed. This taxes is going to corporations, the people making tons of money, to people making $250,000 a year. How is it hurting the poor and the middle class? Here's how it's doing it, folks, is because as taxes, as regulations, as they exponentially expand, as the government continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, guess what tends to reduce in size? Profits. All right, my parents are here, so as they walk in, I might actually have to stop this video and restart it in just a minute. Let me actually shut this window here, keep this going. So I flew my parents down, we'll put them up in our house out here for a few days. So as taxes and regulations increase, profits decrease, guess what else decreases? The amount of systems that can be created. You say, why is this? Because systems become unavailable to those who don't have big money. Today, most people can't afford to create a business system. Why? Because they've got to go through permits, they've got to go through regulations, they've got to pay taxes that they don't even know about, they've got to have paperwork that they don't know how to fill out, they have to have employees that they can't afford. You can't open up the side of your business and start a business today. The government will come and they'll throw you in jail. In fact, I was at a guy's house the other day. He started a business, didn't pay his permits, didn't pay his taxes. The government came and they tore the building down, and he's lucky he's not in jail. So business has become inaccessible to poor and middle class people, meaning the poor get poorer, the middle class gets poorer, and the rich own more of the business systems as time goes by in our current system, and there's no other way to do it unless we hit reset. Well, guess what that means to you? If you're like 95% of the world, you can't create a business system. And we're not going to criticize that. We're just going to realize that it is what it is, and we're going to show you how to participate in a business system that's created by somebody that's got the money to start it properly, and that's to this industry that we call network marketing. It's the greatest industry that's ever been created for our current system, and this is why, because it allows people that don't understand systems, that don't understand businesses, to participate in a kind of business system that they don't have to have the money to start. It's the coolest free enterprise type of industry that's ever existed in the world. And here's how it works.